Hey everybody, good morning. It's the December 17th, 2024. I'm being asked a lot of questions about, where's the top on the S&P 500, both inside of our insured room and also as, DMs and whatnot. So what I'd like to do is take a look just at the S&P 500. It's going to be a very targeted video. Before I get into all this, you all know this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your risk, doing your own research, and I'm just giving my opinion on the market. If you'd like other analysis or any other, not recommendations, but just my opinion on other things, you can always find that information inside of our Discord. You can, ask any question that you like on there. I'm usually more than happy to, to look into that for you. If you need access to our Discord, you can find all of that information on BitDoctor.org. You can also DM me on TradingView and also on X if you need to get a hold of me outside of Discord. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the chart. I want to highlight what happened in July of 2024. Now, this was only about 5-6 months ago. When I'm looking for a top in the S&P 500, and when I say a top, I don't mean like this is the start of a new bear market. I'm just looking for evidence that we have created a significant top and we have further downside, likely quicker downside. So what I want to highlight here is what happened between the months of May and July. So it occurred for approximately a 2-month period of time. So we have a high that we've got right here. We can see this, and this was back, around May 16th. To up here on May 23rd. So we have a high that was created here before we saw a little bit of a pullback. The market pulled back about 2.73%. Not super significant. But what ended up happening, though, is we went up higher. And what you can see is here, we created some new highs, and this is about mid-June, right? So we're going from May 16th all the way to basically June 18th, June 17th. So 1 month later, we are creating highs. But if you take a look at what happened, VIX, which is this chart down here, right? And I've kind of magnified it a little bit because it's, it looks a little bit like this. So what I want to look at is what was VIX doing when we were making new highs, okay? So we have a high here, and what ended up happening is VIX did not create a lower low, which that is some divergence. Typically, when the market is going higher, VIX is going lower. But in this particular case, VIX did not do that. And this is what you need to watch for. Now, there's multiple signs that go into this, right? Multiple things that go into something like this. So we've got divergence. Now, what we're going to be looking for then is a break of a very specific moving average also on the S&P 500. So taking a look at this, going back to June 18th, 2024. All right, so June 18th is going to be about right, let's see here, 17th, 18th. So right here is where we've got those highs, right? What I've got also here is the 250 period simple moving average on the 30-minute time frame on the S&P 500. We did not break that. That is important, right? Because what we're looking for is not just divergence on VIX, but for me, we're also looking for a break of that very important moving average on the S&P 500, and that's the 250 period moving average on the 30-minute time frame on the S&P 500. And when you're looking at VIX, we're looking at daily candles. So we're looking at what was happening on a daily basis on the S&P 500. Okay, so now we are going to look to see, since we didn't break the moving average, we're going to just continue to watch price action, because divergence alone is not everything that you need to take action on. You need more follow through on the market, and that's where that moving average comes into play. So we created a new high, right? We created a new high on, even more divergence, right? It was a little more exaggerated that we were seeing here. We were creating a much higher high compared to what we saw all the way back here, 5,300 all the way to 5,600. So you're talking like a 200-point spread from where we started to where we ended. And we continue to see VIX continue to create higher lows off of those pivots. So now that that has happened, what we're going to be looking for is, again, a break of that 250 period moving average on the 30-minute time frame. We got that, right? We broke down and then we did a retest. This retest right here is where I was telling everybody on the server that we need to be going short. And what ended up happening to the S&P 500 after that, we saw a 7.8% drop. That is significant. Like a 2% drop, that's not a big deal. Like certain stocks are probably going to get destroyed, but generally speaking, what you're looking for is a bigger drop. Now, what did I miss out on, right? So I missed out obviously on this 5% drop, but that didn't bother me so much because the market did return about 3% of that. And then right here where we saw that test of that 250 period moving average on the 30-minute time frame, we saw a 7.6% drop roughly. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the divergence on VIX, but you're also looking for a break of that 250 period moving average on the 30-minute time frame. So let's fast forward to today. What does the market look like today? So we're going to go all the way forward here to what the market is doing right now. What's the market doing right now? Because obviously we've got a high here, we have a higher high here, but what is VIX doing up here, right? So let's just take a look at this. You know, VIX is continuing to create lower lows as the S&P 500 is making higher highs. That is not the divergence that you're really looking for to identify a significant top in the market. Now, obviously the market can fall, right? It'll drop 3%. You know, right here, we've got another 2.6%. I mean, heck, even right here, we've got the market dropping 4%, right? The market can drop, but it doesn't show to me, at least at this time, that we have the signs of a significant top forming. What I really need to see, and we're going to need a drop in order for this to happen, what I need to see is S&P 500 to fall and to move up and make a new high, but I need to see VIX start creating higher lows off of those new higher highs on the S&P 500. When you start to see that happen, then we can start to see a scenario like we saw back here in July of 2024, where we did see that drop, and it was a significant drop, and we were able to capitalize off of that because, you know, from a points perspective, that was a 450 point drop that we saw on the S&P 500. Now, if we saw a 450 point drop from here, you know, we'd be looking at, you know, I'm not even registering it here, right? We'd be taking a look all the way back here to about 5,600, right? That would be a significant drop. Now, of course, several things still have to happen in order for us to really, you know, recognize that that's a possibility. Right now, the market is just consolidating. It's consolidating above about 60.25, and it's consolidating below here about, you know, 60.89 to, 60.90 to 6,100. It's consolidating inside of here, so a lot of resolution still has to happen. But again, what I am looking for when it comes to significant tops, I'm really looking for some divergence on VIX. So S&P 500 creating higher highs, VIX creating higher lows, and then I'm going to be looking for a break of this 250 period moving average on the S&P 500 in order to really identify that we have a significant top that has been created, and then we'll be looking to short the retrace to catch that move down. And again, those downward moves typically do happen very quickly, but if you can identify when they happen, that can help you in your process. And just for those that may have questions about how does the WaveMaster, you know, flow into this, I generally don't use it with the exception of when I'm looking for the short on this 30-minute time frame here on the S&P 500. I'll use that to try and identify where we've got tops that are being formed, and when we do a retrace, I'm also looking for a little bit of confluence there, but generally speaking, it's really just the break of the moving average after we have some divergence on the S&P 500 on a daily with VIX, and then looking for that retrace to hit that 250 period moving average on the pullback, and that's what you're looking for. So that is how I look for significant tops on the S&P 500. If you've got any questions or anything along those lines, you can find how to get in touch with me on bitdoctor.org to get access to our Discord, and also access to trades and Wavemaster indicator and any of all the other indicators that we have. Again, you can also get a hold of me on TradingView. You can get a hold of me on X, whatever your fancy is. So that's what I've got on finding tops on the S&P 500. That's how I do it, and I've been pretty successful in doing that over the last couple of years here. But yeah, again, if you got any questions, feel free to ask. I'm always happy to answer. And last but not least, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a great evening. Take care, everyone.